Mick Foley's first AEW appearance confirmed. Are Danhausen's curses real? And I got some Saturday night's main event predictions coming at ya. Let's talk about it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and before we get into Saturday night's main event predictions, we're going to talk about the breaking news from earlier today from Tony Khan himself, as Mick Foley will be co-hosting the AEW buy-in show before AEW Double or Nothing alongside Renee Paquette and voila, I think we all knew this was coming. You know, we knew Mick Foley was leaving his or was not renewing his Legends deal with the WWE for political purposes. And so I think for a lot of people, and even when I made my predictions video back at the beginning of the year, and I will link that here because this is actually one of the predictions I made, was that Mick Foley would eventually join AEW, and I am right. I think I should go back and check on my predictions video. I think I should check on my predictions, now that I think about it. But Mick Foley is now making his first appearance for AEW. Now, whether or not he signs a contract with AEW officially, that remains to be seen. But the hardcore legend will now be at AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday, which does take place in New York. Now, speaking of New York, I think Danhausen has become way too strong because Danhausen's curses are now going beyond kayfabe because Danhausen has cursed the Cleveland Cavaliers and is helping the New York Knicks. Now, I get it. And any NBA fans out there who are not wrestling fans, I know you're probably confused. Like, what's a Danhausen? Why is he wearing face paint? What does, where's The Rock? Where's John Cena? Like, what has wrestling come to? Like, I get it. You're probably, like I said, you're probably confused. But his curses, I mean, they are very serious. And, Dominic Mysterio was cursed. And he lost his Intercontinental Championship immediately after. So, The Miz, who refused to mentor Danhausen, was cursed. And let's just say, well, I mean, look, let's be honest here. The city of Cleveland and their sports teams are like forever cursed. Except for that one time the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship with LeBron. But point being is, yes, NBA fans, yes, Cleveland Cavaliers fans, this random wrestler that you probably never heard of caused your team to lose in a historic fashion, and you can blame The Miz. And now that I think about it, I should probably make a video talking about who else Danhausen should curse, because I mean, at this point, I just find it funny and hilarious that the curse and everything is somehow, all of this is happening within a realm of like kayfabe. Like, it's crazy. Like, this whole thing is like, oh yeah, the curse is like a kayfabe thing, but like he does it for real, and then like stuff actually happens to whoever he curses. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think he's getting too strong, too powerful. We need to do something about this. But again, Triple H, I think Nick Khan, Triple H, I think I saw something where they talked about Danhausen being the second best merch seller in WWE right now. I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure at this point people would buy Danhausen merch if it meant cursing their rival sports teams. Okay, so who knows at this? Who knows? Who knows how far this whole Danhausen curse thing goes? But apparently, we've completely broken the fourth wall, and it now in fact impacts our professional sports teams. Let's go right into Saturday night's main event predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, man, this is crazy. Maybe Becky Lynch can get a curse on Adam Pearce or something because this is confusing. Because at first it was a non-title match. Now they're saying it's a title match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I just want to break this prediction down from both sides here, whether it's a title match or not a title match. So we got Becky Lynch maybe defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against the young, up and coming, fastest rising star in Sol Ruka. Honestly, I probably would say Sol Ruka would probably win if this is a non title match. Now, if you want to go for a big shock on this show, on the Saturday night's main event, which does need some kind of big shock, right? You know, for a lot of fans, I think it's like the whole, oh, we can skip it, right? We don't need to watch it because nothing big ever happens. So for me, if this is a championship match and you want to put the rocket to Sol Ruka, have her beat Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, even if it's like a roll up or something. But like something that would like prompt a rematch, maybe at like Night of Champions or something, but where you can have Sol win definitively, but just that shock and awe of a new champion would be kind of cool. You know what? As I'm talking about this here, I'm gonna go Sol Ruka wins regardless of the situation, whether it's a championship match or a non-title match. Because here's the thing: what is Liv Morgan doing on Monday Night Raw right now? She needs challengers. And right now, you could put Becky Lynch right back into that world title scene where Liv Morgan is desperately doing nothing. Like, why does Lola Vice have the entire NXT women's locker room going after her championship while there's like nobody chasing Liv Morgan? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So maybe I'm being pessimistic here or a little optimistic. But yeah, you know what? Sol Ruka wins regardless whether it's a championship match or not. But a Intercontinental Championship that will be defended is Penta's Intercontinental Championship as he defends it against another rising star from NXT in Ethan Page. Now, Penta has had a great run with the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm torn. Kind of similar to Becky and Sol Ruka because I feel like this could go either way. Because on one hand, I don't want to see Penta lose his Intercontinental Championship yet, but at the same time, I kind of wouldn't mind Ethan Page winning. And I think here too, I think would have been perfect here would have been the Fatal 4-Way. Like, I get maybe they're saving that for like Night of Champions, but I think this would have worked here perfectly to have Ethan Page win by pinning Javon Evans or Rusev, and then maybe do the rematch with Penta and Ethan Page at Night of Champions. But I'm gonna guess Ethan Page, Penta. I'm gonna go Penta retains here. I don't think they're gonna do a whole lot of title changes. if they do any. But again, I'm going to say Penta retains here, but I do think there will be a fatal four-way at Night of Champions next month where it will be Penta, Ethan Page, Javon Evans, and Rusev in a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship, or they could just do it on a random episode of Raw. Next up here, we have the women's tag team titles as Paige and Brie Bella will be defending against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Um, Honestly, I'm just gonna go Paige and Brie Bella retain the championship. You know, I don't know how much longer Nikki Bella is going to be out with an injury, but I do think there's a lot they can do when Nikki comes back in terms of setting up Paige to where maybe the Bellas turn on Paige, or they become like a trio teams of sorts. So maybe you have Paige and Brie in the tag division, while say maybe we get that feud between Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan. Because, as I just said, Liv Morgan literally is not doing anything right now from a story perspective. So, yeah, I'm just going to go Paige and Brie retain here. And sticking with the women's division here, a 6-women tag as the all-star team of Rhea Ripley, the women's champion, teaming with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Jade Cargill, Minchin, and B-Fab. And I'm torn because I feel like when I look at this card, the matches could go either way. So, on one hand, how could a team with Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss lose, right? Well, if you're going to set up a rematch for Jade and Rhea, then yeah, it's very much possible here that Jade, Minchin, and BFAB get the win. And I think they do. I think Jade will probably pin Charlotte or Alexa, and then she'll say, "Hey, I got the win. I deserve a match against Rhea, whatever." And maybe we get the rematch of Night of Champions. But I would be curious to see if they do involve Fatal Influence in some form in this match. Because does Fatal Influence get involved? Kind of be the reason for Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa to lose? Potentially, but I'm going to go with Jade, BFAB, and Minchin to win this match. And last but not least, what might be the main event, because when I went onto the WWE's website for this show to look up the match card, this match here was the featured match. So I'm assuming this will be the closing match of the night, and that is Logan Paul, Austin Theory defending the Tag Team Championships against the Street Profits. Now, there's a lot of things going on here. You know, we got Seth Rollins still dealing with the Vision. Seth still wanting revenge on Braun Breaker for beating him at Backlash. You know, the Street Profits, they can't trust Seth Rollins, or at least Montez Ford can't trust Seth Rollins. Angelo Dawkins wants to trust Seth Rollins. There's a lot of things going on, okay? So, for me, I want to say here, the Street Profits just came back, and I think the best thing to do here is to have the show close with new tag team champions. I think Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, they will play a role in this match, but I do think Seth will be the reason why they win in order to try to gain the trust of the Street Profits to show that they are on the same page. Now, this does kind of feel like a Survivor Series build up, don't it? Like, we're in May, but like, it feels like, Seth Rollins' whole story is, I don't have no friends. I mean, well, maybe you should stop hitting people in the back with chairs. Maybe you would have friends. But the whole point is that it seems like we're building up to Survivor Series here, almost. But obviously, I think here, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, they've done their job as champions. I think go ahead, give the Street Profits the tag titles, even if it is for a little bit. Maybe you put the titles back on them. The WWE apparently wants to retool their tag team division, which somehow includes releasing tag teams that you could have used to retool your tag division. Make that make sense. So yeah, let's start retooling the tag team division on Monday Night Raw with new tag team champions because of Seth Rollins. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will win as Saturday night's main event? Will we get a new Women's Intercontinental Champion? New tag team champions? And what do you guys think of Mick Foley appearing at AEW Double or Nothing? Danhausen's curse? And who would you want Danhausen to curse? Let me know in the comments below what sports team you would want Danhausen to curse. Because, I mean, look, I'm a Ravens fan. If he could just curse the Bengals and the Steelers and the Chiefs and the Bills so that Lamar Jackson can finally win a Super Bowl, I'll be very happy. Danhausen, if you're listening out there, if you somehow see this by any miracle by chance, as a Ravens fan, can you please curse the Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, and the Bengals? Please, thank you. I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.